Chrisean Rock, the bold, headline-grabbing star known for never backing down, dropping surprises, or turning the tables, was recently spotted in a scene that left fans utterly stunned. This wasn't another feud, breakup, or fiery social media outburst. Instead, she was on a blind date, and the energy was unlike anything we've ever witnessed from her before. Onlookers described her entrance as unexpectedly vulnerable. No entourage, no drama, just Chrissy dressed elegantly, clutching a glass of wine as if it were her anchor. The usually fearless and commanding figure seemed noticeably anxious, stealing nervous glances around the room, fixing her hair repeatedly, and even biting her lip each time her mysterious companion leaned in to talk. This was far from a low-key, under-the-radar moment. Everyone in the restaurant instantly recognized Chrissy and whipped out their phones. Within minutes, clips of the scene flooded social media, with fans quick to notice something unexpected. She looked genuinely happy, not wild, not angry, just quietly content. It was a side of Chrissy we rarely see, calm, soft, and surprisingly serene. But was this simply a rare glimpse of her tender side, or was there something deeper unfolding behind that wine glass? The true shock lies in who her date was and what they discussed. To really grasp why this blind date is causing such a stir, you have to understand where Chrissy's mind has been lately. Her love life, friendships, and career have been a non-stop whirlwind for months. Let's be honest, Chrissy has never been one to hold back or keep things cool when it comes to relationships. Her saga with Blueface alone has dominated headlines across reality TV, hip-hop, and social media, making her personal life as much a part of her story as her music. Gossip these days is a whirlwind of public spats, emotional Instagram lives, breakups that seem to happen and then disappear in a blink, followed by swift reconciliations that leave everyone scrambling to keep up. Add to that a fiery personality and unpredictable energy, and you have someone who effortlessly steals the spotlight wherever she goes. But lately, the Christian we see online feels different. Gone are the chaotic live streams and drama dominating the headlines. Instead, there's been a noticeable shift toward quieter moments, more self-care, regular gym visits, and intriguingly, private outings that she chooses not to broadcast. So when news broke of her recent blind date, fans were taken by surprise. The rendezvous reportedly unfolded at a cozy, tucked-away wine bar nestled in the city, a stark contrast to Christian's usual scene of bright lights and big crowds. Picture dimmed lighting, candlelit tables, and soft jazz floating through the air. Witnesses say Christian arrived a bit early, about 15 minutes before her mystery companion, dressed elegantly in a form-fitting black dress, gold hoop earrings, and a fresh glowing face with minimal makeup. But what caught everyone's attention wasn't just her look, it was her demeanor. For someone accustomed to commanding millions of viewers with bold, loud energy, she seemed noticeably nervous. She fidgeted with her clutch, scanned the room anxiously, and sipped her wine cautiously, as if trying to keep her excitement in check. Then, when her date arrived, something shifted. Her face brightened, not with the exaggerated, performative smile fans are used to, but with a genuine, subtle glow. The man, whose identity remains a mystery for now, greeted her warmly with a handshake, and they immediately slipped into a conversation that felt effortless, like old friends reconnecting rather than strangers meeting for the first time. But the real intrigue started when a few patrons nearby caught bits of their chat. It was far from the typical surface-level small talk. They exchanged stories about family, reminisced over childhood memories, and even shared dreams about what lies ahead. Christian's usually rapid-fire, loud voice softened, becoming more measured and thoughtful. At one point, she even reached out across the table to touch his hand, laughing softly at something he said, a moment so intimate and natural it felt worlds away from her usual public persona. As expected, social media quickly turned this quiet night into a viral spectacle. Within an hour of the first clip hitting TikTok, fans flooded the comments dissecting every detail. "She's acting different," they said. "Is this growth? That smile doesn't feel like her camera smile. If she's sipping wine instead of Casamago, you know this is serious." And naturally, the rumor mill kicked into high gear. Was this date a move to spark jealousy? A signal she's truly moved on? Or just a light-hearted experiment with someone new? Whatever the truth, one thing's certain: Christian's new vibe has everyone watching closely, wondering if this marks the beginning of a fresh chapter. Here's the twist nobody saw coming. An insider close to Christian spilled to a gossip outlet that this wasn't just any random blind date. According to their source, Christian is stepping into a new phase of her life. one where she's more intentional about who she lets into her inner circle. This date, they say, was carefully arranged by a mutual friend. She genuinely trusts someone completely outside the usual entertainment bubble. If that's true, it means Chrisean wasn't chasing viral fame or social media clout. She was genuinely open to connecting with someone from a different world, a fresh chapter that could signal a real change in her love life, and possibly even her public image. Fans began to speculate, is this the start of a quieter, more grounded Chrisean? Just as it seemed like a sweet, low-key story was unfolding, something unexpected disrupted the calm. Whispers began circulating among diners. Waiters paused mid-step. Someone furiously typed out a message. The buzz. You won't believe who just walked in. The atmosphere in the wine bar was cozy and relaxed. Chrisean leaned forward, laughing softly, clearly comfortable with her date. The staff was giving her space, and the other patrons had settled into hushed conversations and sideways glances. Then the front door swung open, and silence fell. Everyone noticed immediately. This wasn't Blueface, nor a sneaky fan trying to snap a selfie. No, it was someone far more unexpected, a figure from Chrisean's recent past. A person who should have had no reason to be there that night. It was one of Blueface's closest allies. A man who had played a major role in some of the most viral clashes between Chrisean and Blueface last year. If you've been following the saga, you know the type. The friend who accidentally went live during arguments, posted cryptic Instagram stories to stoke drama, and many fans believe kept the tension between the two alive and well. And now, there he was, walking into that wine bar while Chrisean was on this date. Witnesses say the moment she spotted him, her entire energy shifted. Her smile froze mid-laugh, her hand, still clutching her wine glass, tensed before she carefully set it down. The mystery date looked between her and the newcomer, sensing the sudden shift in the room's vibe. The friend didn't rush over but didn't need to's, was a small space, and his presence alone was loud enough. He made his way to the bar, ordered a drink, and positioned himself facing Chrisean's table. Occasionally, he glanced over, not with anger or amusement, just quiet observation. The mystery date leaned in and whispered, "Do you know him?" A nearby diner overheard Chrisean give a short nod and mutter, "Yeah, it's complicated." Then things took a turn for the awkward. Moments later, a friend pulled out a phone and predictably went live on Instagram. At first, it seemed like harmless fun, but everyone knew this was far from over. He was casually holding up his drink, chatting into the camera. But sharp-eyed fans tuning in live quickly noticed something else. The phone's angle was perfectly framed to catch Chrisean in the background. Within moments, the live chat blew up with questions. Is that Chrisean? Who is she with? This was about to spiral into chaos. The tension in the room was palpable. Chrisean tried to stay engaged with her date, but her body language betrayed her arms crossed, leaning slightly away from the phone's line of sight, clearly uncomfortable. Her date did his best to keep the atmosphere light, cracking jokes and asking gentle questions, but the mood had undeniably shifted. Then the unexpected happened. Midway through the stream, someone called out loud enough for everyone to hear, "Yo, Chrisean, you good?" All eyes snapped toward the voice. The mystery date froze, and Chrisean took a deliberate sip of her wine, setting the glass down with a tight smile. "I'm great. Better than ever, actually," she replied, her tone calm but clearly guarded. A hush fell over the room for a brief moment before the friend laughed softly, shook his head, and went back to his phone. But the damage was done. The intimate vibe of the evening had vanished, replaced by the glare of a public spotlight. Now, everyone in the wine bar was watching, waiting to see what would unfold next. Her date leaned in again, quietly asking if she wanted to leave, but Chrisean shook her head firmly. One thing about her, when she feels challenged, she doesn't back down. In that moment, it was no longer just a date. It became a test of resolve and composure. But the tension was far from over. As the friend's livestream viewership climbed past 5,000, a bombshell comment appeared in the chat. "Blueface is already watching this." The energy in the wine bar shifted once more. You could almost feel every phone buzzing as people hurried to check Instagram, searching for any sign that the rumor was true. That one simple comment completely upended the atmosphere, turning what had been an intimate, low-key gathering into a full-blown public spectacle. The room, once filled with quiet murmurs and the soft clinking of glasses, instantly buzzed with a new kind of electricity, the kind that comes with knowing someone powerful and unpredictable might be watching. Suddenly, Everyone present, the thousands tuning in online, were caught up in a whirlwind of anticipation and tension, wondering just how Chrisean would respond if Blueface really was keeping tabs on the situation. The stakes had skyrocketed, and the evening's simmering drama was just starting to boil over. No sooner had the comment dropped than Blueface's own Instagram story appeared, sending ripples across social media. The post was minimalistic, yet loaded with meaning. A stark black screen emblazoned with only 3 emojis. No words, no direct references, but the message was unmistakably clear to anyone following the saga. Fans scrambled to capture screenshots, instantly sharing and dissecting the cryptic post, while those watching the livestream began tagging Blueface, begging him to make an appearance or go live alongside the friend documenting the event from inside the bar. The comments section erupted into a chaotic mix of excitement and anxiety. Half of the viewers urged Blueface to crash the scene and shake things up, craving the fireworks that would surely follow, while the other half cautioned him against making waves that could spiral out of control. The tension wasn't just confined to the bar anymore. It spilled out into the digital world, amplifying the stakes and transforming a personal evening into a public showdown. As the chatter grew louder, so did the pressure on everyone involved, especially Chrisean, whose every move was now under a microscope. What had begun as a private, hopeful night out was rapidly becoming a high-stakes game of public perception, social media warfare, and personal boundaries tested in real time. The unfolding drama captured the collective imagination of fans and critics alike, all eager to witness how the players would navigate the charged atmosphere now engulfing them. This was no longer just a story about a blind date. It was a live, unfolding narrative where each comment, emoji, and reaction held the power to shift alliances, ignite conflict, or change the course of the saga altogether. And as the night deepened, one thing was certain: the drama was far from over, and the world was watching with bated breath. Back at Chrisean's table, the atmosphere was thick with tension, almost suffocating in its intensity. Her date, visibly uncomfortable and clearly unaccustomed to being thrust into the spotlight, leaned closer and quietly asked, "Do you want to get out of here?" But Chrisean's answer was a resolute shake of her head, her jaw set tight, flashing that familiar, steely expression. Her fans instantly recognized the unmistakable look of someone refusing to hand over any victory or satisfaction to the drama swirling around her. Then the night took a sharp turn from uncomfortable to explosive. Blueface wasn't content to stay silent. He went live on Instagram, not alongside his friend at the bar, but from what appeared to be the confines of his car. Without wasting a single second, he threw down the gauntlet. "So, I hear someone's out sipping wine tonight," he said, his voice laced with challenge and unmistakable bravado. Meanwhile, inside the bar, the friend who had been live the entire evening grinned knowingly, tilting his phone to frame Chrisean's table perfectly in view of thousands of viewers watching online. What was meant to be a private, intimate date quickly morphed into a live public spectacle, broadcast to an audience riveted by the unfolding tension. The room felt charged, the stakes skyrocketing as thousands tuned in, watching every gesture, every glance, every word exchanged under the harsh glare of real-time scrutiny. Suddenly, Chrisean's quiet evening wasn't just about getting to know someone new. It was a high-stakes performance, where every move was dissected and every moment carried the weight of public expectation and personal resilience. This wasn't just a date anymore. It was a battleground of wills, played out live before an audience hungry for drama, and Chrisean's refusal to back down only fueled the intensity. The night's events underscored how quickly private moments can spiral into viral sensations, and how navigating that fine line between personal life and public spectacle requires a fierce combination of strength, poise, and grit. As thousands watched, one thing became clear: Chrisean was not here to crumble or retreats. She was ready to stand her ground. No matter the spotlight's heat, comments poured in rapidly. "She looks good though, Blue about to crash this. That dude better be ready." Initially, Chrisean tried to stay composed, chatting with her date and sipping wine as if the entire internet wasn't dissecting her every move. But when Blueface's voice grew louder, threatening, "Better hope you don't get too comfortable over there," she turned in her seat, locking eyes with the phone filming her. Facing the camera directly, she declared, "Y'all really doing this? It's my night. I'm chilling, I'm happy. Y'all want to make it about drama? Nah, not tonight." Her words ignited the chat, sparking both applause for her confidence and support for Blueface's territorial stance. Midstream, Blueface dropped a bombshell. "Ask her about last week. Ask her where she was." Silence fell over the bar. The friend laughed into his phone, relishing the chaos. Christian's date looked bewildered, glancing between her and the cameras as if suddenly cast into a reality show. Which, in truth, he kind of was. But Christian doesn't back down when cornered. She fired back immediately. "Last week, I was minding my business. Something you should try." Gasps and chuckles erupted around the bar as the friend kept streaming and the viewer count soared past 10,000. Then, the night took an even wilder turn. From a nearby table, another phone began recording, but this time, not aimed at Christian. It focused on the entrance. A tall figure in a hoodie stepped inside, pulling the hood back to reveal their face. The room froze. It wasn't Blueface, nor a random fan, it was someone from Christian's past. Long thought out of the picture. Scanning the room, their eyes locked on Christian. Without hesitation, they began making their way toward her table. The live chat exploded. "Oh, it's about to go down. This just turned into a love triangle. Blueface's head is about to explode." The date, the live stream, and the friend's antics faded into the background. Every gaze was now fixed on the approaching figure and the storm that was about to unfold. The atmosphere inside the wine bar shifted palpably the moment the mysterious figure from Christian's past started closing the distance to her table. What had been a warm, intimate setting, a place of soft lighting, hushed conversations, and clinking glasses suddenly crackled with an electric tension that no one could ignore. The friend behind the bar, still live streaming on Instagram, didn't miss a beat. His camera lens locked in on every purposeful stride the man took, capturing the rising drama in real time for thousands of eager viewers. Meanwhile, across the digital landscape, Blueface's own live stream audience erupted into a frenzy. Their comments flooding the screen with a mix of anticipation, taunts, and fervent calls for him to intervene or react to the unfolding scene. Each new message echoed the growing excitement and dread as fans debated what might happen next, wondering if Blueface would show up, escalate the confrontation, or simply watch from the sidelines. The bar itself, now no longer just a quiet venue, became the backdrop for a high-stakes moment as the past collided with the present. The tension was palpable, thick enough to cut through, and everyone present both inside the bar and online could sense that the night was careening toward a reckoning no one could have predicted. The silence between each step the approaching man took was almost deafening, filled with the collective breath-holding of an audience waiting for the inevitable spark to ignite what was sure to be a volatile showdown. In that charged atmosphere, time seemed to slow, every movement magnified, as if the entire room was collectively bracing itself for whatever storm was about to break loose. What started as a simple blind date had morphed into a live drama, blurring the lines between private moment and public spectacle, leaving no doubt that this night would be remembered long after the last glass was emptied. The man stopped beside Christian's table, leaving her date visibly confused as Christian leaned back with crossed arms, clearly guarded. Without hesitation, the man said, "We need to talk," prompting Christian to coolly reply, "About what?" "This isn't the time or place," while her nervous date glanced around, overwhelmed by the public tension. Phones captured every moment, as a bystander live-streamed the scene, and Blueface, watching on his own live, grinned and relished the drama unfolding. The man's words, "You left a lot of things unfinished, and you know exactly what I'm talking about," sent shockwaves through the room. Christian calmly stood, locking eyes with him, saying firmly, "You had your chance. It's over. I'm not that girl anymore," before turning back to her date as if nothing happened. The internet erupted, praising her poise and growth, while skeptics cried staged drama, especially after Blueface's cryptic cap 100% cap comment on his live stream. Celebrities and fans alike weighed in, admiring her calm under pressure and dissecting her body language as a sign of control. The wine bar embraced the buzz with a cheeky Instagram post, while Christian stayed silent online, fueling speculation about whether she was protecting her privacy or building suspense. Amidst this whirlwind, a late-night anonymous audio leak recorded outside the bar ignited fresh flames, proving this multi-layered saga was far from over. The sounds of bustling traffic and distant conversations filled the night air outside the restaurant, setting the scene for a tense exchange captured on audio. Christian's voice sliced through the ambient noise far from the calm, composed woman from earlier. Her tone was sharp and urgent. "I told you, I don't owe you anything," she said firmly. In response, a deeper male voice, almost certainly the same mysterious man from the earlier encounter, shot back, "You owe me the truth, at least, or I tell them first." That single line ignited a wildfire across social media platforms. Who was he threatening? What secrets could he reveal? The clip carried the faint sounds of pacing footsteps and a buzzing phone. Then a third, quieter voice whispered urgently, "Cameras are still rolling inside. Don't do this here." And just like that, the audio cut out, leaving fans desperate for answers. By 2 a.m., the hashtag #TellThemFirst was trending on Twitter as theories spun wildly, some speculating the man threatened to expose private details from Christian's life before Blueface, others guessing it involved money or complicated past relationships tied to her rise in fame. Blueface wasted no time jumping into the fray, tweeting cryptically, "Truth always comes out eventually." A message that racked up hundreds of thousands of likes within hours. The friend who'd live-streamed earlier from the bar added fuel, with an Instagram story reading, "It gets better," leaving followers wondering if better meant more drama or something even darker for Christian. The story quickly escalated beyond typical gossip, with outlets hinting that the man's so-called truth might ripple through the entertainment industry, touching other public figures. Just as speculation reached a fever pitch, Christian finally broke her silence, not with a lengthy explanation, but a simple Instagram boomerang of her wine glass from the night, captioned, "Y'all love a cliffhanger, huh?" No clarifications, no denials, just enough to keep everyone hooked and guessing. The date itself has faded into the background. Now the entire conversation revolves around the mysterious truth, who holds it, and when it might surface. Fans anxiously await the next move, whether it comes from Christian, the enigmatic man, Blueface, or the ever-present friend with the phone. What began as an intimate evening has spiraled into a dramatic prelude to something far bigger, turning a quiet night into one of the most talked-about moments in Chrisean Rock's public life. We glimpsed a softer, guarded side of her, only to watch it unravel under the pressure of a surprise visitor, a relentless live stream, Blueface's sharp commentary, and a cryptic late-night audio leak that has left the internet in chaos. Now, it's your turn. Was this simply an innocent night gone awry, or a calculated setup designed to keep Christian at the center of attention? And most intriguingly, what did that mysterious man mean by "before I tell them first"? Share your theories in the comments. I'll be reading every one. And some of you might be closer to the truth than you think. Remember, this saga is far from over. More leaks, reactions, and potentially explosive revelations are looming just beyond the horizon. When those moments drop, you can count on me to be here, breaking down every detail as it unfolds. So, don't forget to hit subscribe, ring that notification bell, and smash the like button if you want me to dive deeper into all the players tangled up in this blind date drama. From what I'm hearing behind the scenes, part 2 could be even wilder than what we've already witnessed. This isn't the finale, it's only the opening chapter.